Hey, what's going on? It's Joe Teel, and this is another 180 Creator interview. As always, I've got a great guest. Today, it's Brenden Stovall, a.k.a. KB, back for a second time on the show. Owner and creator of Cake House. He is a good friend of mine now. And since we focused so much on his kind of like his personal life and his business in the first interview, today we want to sit down and have a little fun, go down the rabbit hole and talk about some of our favorite conspiracies. So we picked a couple conspiracies and tried to approach them with an open mind and try to practice a little alternative thinking today. I really want to push that we're not trying to get you to believe certain things or anything, just kind of engage in thinking that may be outside of the normal. If you like this channel, please like, share, and subscribe. And now, the KB interview.
So you know I'm paid in full.
I don't want to tell you how to feel.
Right.
I just want you to think about what I'm saying and consider it.
Yeah.
Like my policy is I'm willing to consider anything. I'm willing to consider it. I'm willing to sit and critically think about it, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, that takes me to some interesting places.
It does. Yeah, I really enjoyed listening to Colton Foltz talk about like ayahuasca and like DMT and stuff like that. It was crazy.
Those are scary.
Yeah, it's scary. For me, it's like something I just don't think I would ever, I don't think psychedelics are for me. I don't think it's something I would try. But I love to hear people talk about them doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting as hell to hear somebody, I just know that's not my cup of tea. But you know what I'm saying? To hear people's experiences is crazy.
I mean, I've dabbled.
Yeah, because something's happening there. Something is happening there.
I mean, I was pretty much like an atheist. I felt that way. I felt like nothing mattered, that there was nothing beyond, that it was just, that was the end, and that there was not necessarily a God. I gave into the whole, almost like the science of religion of science.
Right.
Almost, but it was years and years and years that I felt like that. And through a couple of different experiences, I mean, I believe in God. I pray. It's not like, I think God. No, I know.
Right.
I know. I know, and strongly. You know, so it's like the things about me changed.
Yeah.
Things that I needed to change, definitely changed, man. So I mean, definitely there's positives that can be had there. There's a lot of really, possible dope experiences to be had, but it's all about your setting and
I think I had
intention.
I think I had the wrong idea about it. I've always thought about psychedelics as just another recreational thing, like people treating psychedelics like they treat weed or just
right. My first time, probably the first few times that I ever did mushrooms, it was definitely out of recreation.
Yeah.
And it was never nothing. Well, I had an early experience where I felt like this oneness. They call it a oneness with the universe. And it's like this feeling where you feel overwhelmed with oh my God, everything is connected. And,
Which could be.
In a lot of ways it is.
I wouldn't argue that.
In a lot of ways it is.
I think we're more connected than we think.
And it's not just everything. It's the people, the trees, the plants, the animals, the stars, the sky, the water, the earth, the everything. It's all connected somehow, some way. Even if you don't, I didn't know how, but I felt that it was. And it was just like a big hug.
It felt good though, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a better feeling than feeling like nothing matters and you're just this person. You showed up for whatever reason.
Right.
And here you are, and you got 50 years, maybe 70 years to do something, and then you're gone forever. You're saying it's a better feeling.
Absolutely.
To feel the other way, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, because that was depressing. I have a tattoo that I actually hate, and it's so so cringe.
What does it say? Does it say something, or is it just...
It's a Friday the 13th tattoo, but it's like I have this upside down cross right here. It's
Oh, no.
it's that, yeah, right.
You hear me? Oh no,
It's trashy, and I don't like that no more. I don't feel like that.
Yeah. Yeah, tattoos. They stay.
I know. Yeah, they do. And it's like, damn, I was so strongly convicted, and now I feel so completely opposite.
Wow. No. But that's, I don't know, that's that part of growing. That's like why that would be a strike against tattoos. Like, you know, obviously me covered in tattoos, but if I could say this to somebody listening, the thing you tattoo on your body because you believe it today, in 5 or 10 years could be 100% different.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
Because like if you get like even quotes or even things like this, like when you like, because that is kind of stupid part of tattooing shit, like thinking that you won't grow up and like or have changes of mind. Like I hope you don't think the same shit you do when you're 18 when you're like 50. You know, you're supposed to think different.
Growth.
That tattoo might not make as much sense later.
Right.
But I'm covered in them.
I mean, like,
which I don't really just.
And I like tattoos, but like, even right now for like Father's Day, my wife's like, I want to get you a tattoo, and I'm like, I don't know what I want or where, or
right.
I don't even know how to feel about any of the tattoos that I have right now. From, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, do I want to keep going? You know what I mean? Like I have this tattoo. I probably got this when I was like 20 something. It says hip hop. It's a microphone. And you know what I learned from this tattoo?
What's that?
That I'll never get another tattoo in the palm of my hand. This shit is the most painful.
Yeah, and then the ink won't stay, huh?
I mean, it's there.
Yeah, that's sticking better than I would assume.
This is like over 10 years, probably 12 years. No,
that's impressive.
I'm 14. Bum. Shout out to Bum.
Yeah, shout out to Bum for sure. Shout out to Bum.
Shout out to Bum. But yeah, so, you know, but yeah, would I have got this now? No.
No, yeah.
Everybody just thinks I've been fucking scribbling in my hand.
Writing down cake recipe, right?
What you got written in your head? It's a tattoo. Oh, what's it say? Did it hurt? Yes, of course.
Yeah. Oh man.
I've locked myself into a reality where every single person that sees this asks me, did it hurt?
Yeah, that's just gonna happen, huh?
I've locked that into.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, people just, especially non-tattooed people or people that have like 1 or 2 tattoos, like when they see someone like me, like there's like a specific set of questions that are going to get asked to me. Who did your tattoos? How much did they hurt? What was the worst spot? What do they mean?
That's these.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure.
God.
Yeah, I'm sure people.
Oh my God.
Tell me about how long have you been growing them?
How'd you get it to do that?
Yeah.
And it's everybody. It's like the little kids are interested, the old people. It doesn't really matter race or age. Everybody wants to know.
Which is it is cool though.
Fellow dreadheads want to know. You know, like everybody just want to know. Oh, my son one time, or you know, my husband was thinking about doing this, or who did him, or how. And it's so many times a day. I used to travel for work. I was doing like IT cable install, phone install, shit, whatever. And I had to go to all these rural, like little towns in Arkansas. Oh my God. It was just like, it's like, you know, you ever seen that, like them videos, like where somebody like black go to China?
And they just confused.
Kobe Bryant! Like,
who did they think you were?
You know, I don't know, but they were all just,
Wasn't there a singer in Korn that had?
Jonathan Davis, maybe, is that his name?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Has anybody ever did that to you?
No, it's always Post Malone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
And that's not fair.
That's not fair.
He only had cornrows one time, and that was like for like the first album, and then he never did that again. The first album was like probably 10 years ago.
Was that? Oh man, when was the White Iverson? I'll Google it real fast.
Probably 10 years, man.
I am curious myself.
But so it doesn't matter that I
Iverson release date.
Yeah, go ahead.
My fault. 2016, which is almost 10 years. God, 2016 is 8 years ago.
So yeah, I've been Post Malone for 8 years now. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, what he looked, because he don't look like that now. Not even close
at all. Not even close. I'm just like,
it happens though. People, I don't know. It's something. This could take us down a whole different rabbit hole, but it takes us down like what memory is and how people associate things. That's how I've been learning a lot about our brains and about our memory and stuff like that. And one of the main ways we do remember stuff is by associating. And I think everybody's got used to associating. So like they can say, Brenden from the Cake House, the Post Malone guy, he looks like Post Malone. And that could be like, that's attached. Like if that was their first thought about you, that's attached to their memory of you for like ever.
Yeah.
And like they may see Post Malone and think of you, or vice versa. Like
and it's probably tied to the first time that they saw Post Malone.
Right.
Also,
yeah.
White guy with some long dread braid things and a grill.
And that's it. That's all it took. And now you're forever that in their brain.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But I went to Pizza Hut the other day. They didn't ask my name. They just put Cookie Man on my receipt.
Cookie Man. Hey.
I was like, what? No.
But I will say this. As from what I've learned from at least these, just for what little wackiness I do have going on here. When you do go out of the lines, you get that type of response from people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like that's not normal, right? I mean, it not trying to be offensive.
I know.
But no, that's not something that normally happens. Like the white dude with the long dreads, like that is different. And so you're gonna draw a response every time.
I know.
Every time.
It's the life I've chosen.
Yeah, it's the life I've chosen. It's just gonna. And sometimes you forget it, but you forget you have them sometimes until somebody says,
I don't forget, but it's just like at some point somebody's gonna ask. It's just such like an automated thing now. I don't even really acknowledge that it happens in the day anymore. It's just it doesn't matter where I go.
Yeah.
I could be at work, somebody's gonna ask. I could be at the store, somebody's gonna ask. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where I go. So it's just it's kind of just built into my like automated response, canned responses.
Yeah. I've had them this long. This is how you do it. You already have.
How'd you even do that? It's really complicated. I don't really have time to tell you while you check out these 4 items. I'm sorry.
I'm glad. I had questions the first time I interviewed you. I was going to ask you about your dreads, and now I'm feeling real good about not asking you about them because I feel like I may have surprised you by not asking about them.
I was glad.
It
was welcoming. It was refreshing.
Good move from Joe. Okay.
12 years. 12 years.
Okay.
12 years.
It's better when you say it without getting asked. There you go. Because I'm still in my head was like, damn, how long has he been growing them?
I know. That's the most important thing. 12 years. There's like
that is commitment though. I mean, they ever bother you?
All the time.
No. Is that a question that gets asked? My bad.
Nobody asked how they treat me.
Yeah. Are they heavy? They're heavy, right?
I guess they're pretty heavy, especially when I get them wet.
Yeah.
But like, it's mostly like, they're so long now that I've been sitting on them and like the ends have been breaking off because the ends are thin. You know, they started, we ain't really know as they get better and better as they go up.
Right.
But like, you know, I've been sitting on the ends and sometimes I like jerk my head back. Sometimes I can't like lift my head up in bed and I'm like, T, get my hair, pull my hair out from under me.
It's just a part of the game though.
Yeah. Like I be having it up to get in the shower and stuff because I be trying not to.
It's heavy though, huh?
Yeah,
it's gotta be heavy if you lift them all up. Yeah, like pull your head back.
Yeah, it should start hurting my neck and stuff like that.
Yeah. Everyone asks about the dreads, but they don't ever ask about how you're doing with them. Check in with my boy.
I like to think my neck is strong.
Yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta be.
But yeah.
What are they, about 3 foot maybe?
Probably. I mean,
I'd
like they're my arm length.
Yeah, it's gotta be at least 3 foot. Easy.
Arm length.
Yeah, they're tall. Your hair is taller than my son.
It's crazy. But yeah.
Ooh. Man, the dreads. Yeah, I didn't ask about them. I'm glad I did that.
Yeah.
Points. Brownie points.
It's going to come out at some point.
Yeah, I like that though. I do think though that when we do try stuff and we go outside of the norms, we are just opening the door for dumb questions.
I mean, I feel that way anyway. Like if you take the road less traveled, if you take the scenic route per se, you know, like if you just do something that's out of the ordinary, out of your way, out of your everyday experience, like something different will happen to you also. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you break out of your norm, you go a different way to work, you might see something insane. Or you might...
Do you think that most people live like too tied down to like the social norms?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the average person is just like, okay, here's what society wants of me, so I'm going to act and I'm going to do just these.
Yeah.
What do you think that does to like a society as a whole?
I mean, I think, you know, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of implications.
Right.
You know, so you could say that that's what kind of keeps everything in line. Is that enough people
are normal,
do exactly what they're supposed to do?
That makes sense. That's a good answer.
In order to keep, you know, to allow the space for me to fuck off.
Yeah. It kind of, you know what it makes me think of? It kind of is like, it gives you a chance to be like the opportunity to be different. You know what I mean? If everybody was wilding out like and doing like just following every stray thought, and I'm not saying that's what you do, but you know what I'm saying, like going with the flow and what, you know, because I feel like people suppress their flow sometimes. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? There's people that want to be way more creative than what they are, right?
I like to quote The Incredibles. I'm gonna quote the villain.
Okay, yeah.
But he said, when everybody's special, no one is.
No one is. Okay, so yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that gives you the opportunity to stand out because there's so many people that are just like, well, I'm going to play by the rules. And not necessarily just the rules, but I'm going to follow like the social rules. And there's unsaid social rules, obviously, you know, like, and everybody just, and it's almost like
what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like what you're conditioned and like programmed to do.
Yeah. And they're not even, a lot of these things are not even like actual like laws or nothing. They're just like things that our parents teach us. And like parents collectively have decided to teach everybody this or you know, you learn it at school or you learn it at here or here. And so like just everybody kind of sort of acts the same. And so when you see somebody different, it's like, what's going on here? Yeah. What is this?
Right. Especially like in a place like Texarkana, it's really easy to stand out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
It's really not hard. When I go to places, I like not standing out. Yeah. I like going to LA. I like going to Miami. So I like going to Houston.
In LA, you're just another dude, right? I can see it. Yeah.
In Miami, I'm a guy that's probably from South Florida.
Yeah.
In Austin, I'm a guy from Austin. In LA, I'm a guy from LA. I look the part. It's great. Nobody fucking bothers me there ever. Yeah. It's great.
So have you ever thought about moving to one of those places?
I like being home though.
Yeah.
But
then you wouldn't stand out. Would you? I feel like you might miss it.
I like coming home. Like, why would I want to go places where I can go and not be known? But when I come home, why would I not like to come home to a place where people already like me?
Yeah, true.
People like me here. Why would I? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
for real.
people fuck with me here.
Yeah.
Why would I have to go and try to make new people to fuck with in a new place? And
I've thought about moving so many times. Like when the studio was like at the point where I was like functioning at the highest level. Yeah. I'm like, dude, I could go to Dallas. I could make a killing, bro. But I was always been tied down to. People talk a lot of shit about Texarkana. I might even talk a little shit about Texarkana, but like
deservingly.
Yeah, deservingly because they do Texarkana shit. But at the end of the day, like I could probably live here my whole life and be fine. I want to be able to go and do cool stuff. But at the end of the day, I want to come back to my little farm with my cows and my trees, and you know what I'm saying. I don't want to go live in an apartment in Dallas to try to make my music dream come true. I'd rather, you know, what I'm saying. At the end of the day, I'd rather raise my kids on, out in the country, how I grew up.
Bring it home, man.
Bring it home.
Bring it on home. I like that, and that's the thing. I love to travel. I love to go. And you know what? If I got to the point where I'm retired and, you know, money long and I can just fuck off and do what I want to, kids, everything, like, yeah, I'll go travel 2-3 months at a time, but I'm gonna want to come back.
Yeah.
But I could be gone. You know?
I could be gone for damn sure.
I could be gone.
I just got right now I'm like locked in like this hustle mode, and I know man, if I could, I'm thinking about taking I might do like 10 interviews in like a week, bro, and like take like 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
And like just go somewhere for like 2 weeks. That would be great. That's what that's kind of what I'm working towards. If I just need to stack up a couple interviews.
Yeah.
So I can still be releasing them while I'm gone.
Yeah.
Use AI to make a couple clips for me.
Use that AI.
While I'm gone. And,
use that AI, man.
No, I need a break already from this for sure. But it's fun. It's fun, dude. I've been having fun conversations, bro.
I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. It's dope.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like to see the consistency. Consistency is like, I think, one of the hardest things for anybody to do the same thing in and out, like consistently, to make yourself have a schedule and do something outside of the stuff that you're already obligated to do. Like, respect, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Big respect.
I know. So you took an extra day off, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's big.
It is.
I'm proud of you. Like when I saw that, I was like, good, because that 1 day a week off, that can't be enough, bro.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Like stuff was like definitely lacking in a lot of ways. Like just home life, like work life balance was way out of whack. Way out of whack. So adjusted. It's okay though.
It can get like that, and it's crazy. So like you have this dream. So it's like, man, I'm gonna make this cookie place, and it's gonna be the shit, you know. and it's like, this is gonna free me up. This is gonna this and that. And then you're like, oh man, like I work 6 days a week every week, and it never stops.
It doesn't free me up, but it enables me to not have to deal with any bullshit.
There you go. Yeah, which is big.
Gotta work hard. Gotta work hard as fuck. But like, nobody can fire me.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell me, hey, you should have been here 30 minutes earlier. I can tell myself, KB, you should have fucking been here 30 minutes earlier. You know that shit. But there's no consequence to it except me being hard on myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no, just to be free of that. Like,
so would you say that people tend to work harder just to not have a boss?
Absolutely.
I feel like that sometimes.
Absolutely.
Because I know I work harder to not have a boss than I would if I just had a boss and just, okay, here's what they want from me. Bam, I'll go knock that out. But it's like here, there's never ending tasks. Never.
No, there's always something that can be done, that needs to be done, that needs to be addressed, that needs to be paid, that needs to be. It's a never ending task. It's a never ending chore. It's but
it becomes a part of you though.
It is.
It's a part of you, and it's a way. I don't know, and there's there's just that feeling inside of you when you make it by yourself, you know, and then you say, okay, well, we're paying the bills. And then especially when it gets rolling and you do more than pay the bills, you're like, okay, now we can go on vacation. You know, now we're making a little bit more than the bills. And then like, I did this. I wasn't begging some company to give me the money that, you know, that can fire and replace me tomorrow. Like, that's big. That's big. We talked about it last time, and you was highlighting like the hardness of it, and I was like, man, you know what? I need to chill out, hyping up the entrepreneurship quite so much. You know what I'm saying? Because like for someone that's been doing it forever, I should have a more realistic approach to it. Like, because I tend to like romanticize it. You know?
Right. I mean, and it's easy to romanticize because there's a lot of good things about it too. And when somebody's speaking positively of it, and they want to, you know, that's what you're gonna give them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like there's, you know, the dark side of entrepreneurship.
For sure. Oh, I like how you do the dark side.
Yeah. I imagine one of them documentary voices.
Yeah.
You know.
The dark side of the small businesses.
Right.
Which there is tons and tons and tons of them. But man, you got any wild thoughts you've been thinking of lately? Any rabbit holes you've been down recently?
I'm always in a bunch of rabbit holes. My Twitter is like a never ending feed of new conspiracy theories.
So did you you ever like dabbled in any like Billy Carson stuff?
Billy, I don't know that name. I don't think.
The guy that talks about the tablets and talks about like the emerald tablets and the stuff like that. He went on Rogan for the first time, but he has his own deal. So like the Sumerian texts and stuff like that. Have you heard of those?
Yeah.
Where they tell the story. Have you heard of the story of like the Anunnaki and like?
I've heard a lot of different stories.
The planet Nibiru and all that crazy shit. I watched some video on it last night from a guy called Y-Files. That's a good YouTube channel. That dude does a lot of cool stuff.
Okay.
But anyways, no, I didn't know. I was going to run that by you and see, because like Billy Carson has translated these deals, and like he went on Rogan, he was talking about, and this is some wild stuff, bro. Like aliens came here, and like they're the ones that made us make the jump from like primates to humans, and like they wanted to engineer us to like make gold for them, to mine gold, because they needed gold for their planet. And they have this planet, which is the 9th planet that is the farthest out in our solar system. We can't see it or some shit. It's called Nibiru or some shit. Like, this is some wild stuff, obviously. Yes. But like, they came and they had their own slaves with them, but their own slaves started bullshitting. And so they were looking at the apes and they were like, shit. Shit. They got the rubbing their hands together like,
hey, what's the meme on Twitter? Hear me out.
Hear me out.
Hear me out.
Hear me out. And so they
not
think,
the apes.
yeah, they think that, and there's people that think this, and they think that they changed like a gene to transform us to be more like them, because they say we're more like what they call like the Anunnaki, which was the people that came to us. Which is crazy. But the thing about this is, here's the wild part that does make me scratch my head a little bit in like some actual real, like, what the fuck shit. Because like you hear the story and it's like, okay, because I just gave you the story and that's far out, right?
Right.
But they've translated these tablets, right? These tablets are 6,000-7,000 years old, right? There's stories of spaceships and space travel and, you know, technology and all this stuff. But what the why is that? Why is a sci-fi movie? Because that sound like a sci-fi movie, doesn't it?
Man, the truth is stranger than fiction, man. It really is. And so everything came from something.
Yeah.
I believe in ancient advanced civilizations.
Yeah.
For sure.
Have you ever got into like Graham Hancock?
I don't know. Listen, it's really hard for me to know names. I've seen so many.
He goes on Rogan a bunch. It's the guy that thinks that that there was a civilization before the last ice age, and that they passed on the technology. They had a big Netflix series on it called Ancient Civilizations or Ancient Apocalypse. Hold on. Ancient Apocalypse.
I saw that, but I didn't. I mean, I saw it on Netflix, but you know what I mean. I didn't watch it.
Oh, dude, it's wild.
Is it?
Yeah, it's wild. He says some interesting things on there, and they even brought an archaeologist on there, a real archaeologist. Joe Rogan's a man. I don't give a damn. He had a regular mainstream archaeologist, and who basically has been beefing with this Graham Hancock dude. They call it pseudo-archaeology, all this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They lock in on an episode together in a debate with Joe Rogan there, 4 hours long. This shit's insane. But no, they went at it.
Wow.
At the end, I watched the whole thing, and I don't know, I'm still in the middle.
Because at the end of the day, you really don't know.
Yeah, and then you're just listening to these old white dudes argue about it, and you're trying to come to some solution. You know what I mean?
You just really, because you have no clue of what actually is, like, I take in so much information, and I read so many things, and I like watch so many things, and it's really hard to know what's actually the facts and like what's actually the truth.
I agree.
And like that's why it's hard for me to say I have certain beliefs. I'm willing to consider anything.
Yes. Yeah. Think about this. I was thinking about this the other day while I was watching that deal, and afterwards I was like, okay, so on my scale of like wild, like if we created like a wild shit scale, like a fucking unbelievable to believable scale, our biases about shit will play a big factor in the wild shit scale.
Yeah.
So it's like there's certain things that like people will be like, duh, that are far out. And then there's other things that are far out and people will be like,
right.
Fuck.
Right.
You know, why? How could you believe that? It's weird. You know, you take like the Bible for an example. A lot of wild shit in the Bible.
Tons.
Lots of, yeah. And you'll take it, but if you go tell like someone that just absolutely believes in the Bible, it's a lot easier for them to say, you know, to rationalize, right? And then you tell them a story about aliens coming. And you say, well, what if we were genetically engineered by aliens, like from a different planet? And like, that's how we started. No, that's unbelievable. It's like, okay, if I pull out my wild shit meter and we start, testing things like if you could do it unbiased, like aliens come and genetically engineer something that was already here to make us this, or you say, okay, this omnipresent being from outside of the universe creates us. Okay. I'm feeling like these are equally wild.
They are equally wild. If you was to look at it from never have heard either story.
That's what you need. That's what you need. If you grow up in the Bible Belt, then you can rationalize that different than the other thing. And I'm not saying the Bible's wrong. I don't want to fight none of you people like that. As none of that. I have my own beliefs about the Bible. But you know what I'm saying? That's what you need. You need to be, it's almost like you can hear both of them for the first time.
Right.
How unbelievable is both of them? If I told you, and you had a little bit, let's say you grew up around horses, but you'd never seen a giraffe before, right?
Right.
And I described to you two different animals, and I said, which one of these animals is harder to believe in? I say, first of all, you've got a unicorn. This is a horse that just simply has a horn on its head.
Right.
Right? Or let me tell you about this other animal in Africa with a fuck that's 17 foot tall and it has 11-foot neck and eats out the top of trees and it's got spots on it. You tell me which one is more believable.
If I've only ever seen a horse, then the horse with the horn doesn't even sound that far-fetched.
Come on,
actually.
bro. Come on. Giraffes are weird as shit. But because we know giraffes, that's a normal thing. It's like, oh, no, it's just a giraffe.
Even if you was to do that with like a zebra, it would probably work.
Yeah. Because the zebra is kind of wild too, bro. Why is this horse running around with fucking stripes? What a weird, zebras are weird animals.
They are.
I think that's a weird deal. This is the horse with stripes, ain't it?
But from Africa. Or the Sahara. I don't know where zebras live. Maybe it's the Sahara.
I will Google that shit. Where are zebras from? Native to Africa.
All right.
Yep. There you have it.
It's just not fair. Africa's such a big place.
Yeah.
You can't just say like from Africa. Like that's like saying like from America. Like where in America? There's 50 states.
Yeah. I could find a better answer, but I'm too lazy.
It's fine.
But somewhere in Africa, which isn't that the biggest continent?
I think so.
I think so, yeah. I think they make it smaller on the maps.
They do.
To make it fit. And then you got to kind of squeeze Australia in down at the bottom or whatever. Yeah, dude, maps. You're looking at me like, do you want to go the direction of talking about maps?
I don't think so.
You don't want to do maps today? That's fine.
There's much. Everybody likes to talk about maps and the flat Earth. Like,
yeah, we could skip that. We definitely could skip that.
It's so because nobody's actually all the way right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Because here's my thing. We could do the same thing. We can do the same wild shit meter on a flat Earth and a round Earth. I don't want to get into this too much, but I do want to say this. What's more believable? A big giant globe floating through space or some flat floating thing what's underneath the flat Earth? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think they're almost both like, if you really think about it, they're both like
they're equally true. They're equally true. Yes.
I don't know about true, but I'd say they're equally wild. Because one, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, like you said, man. we don't got to give it no attention. That's cool.
There's truths on both sides. The truth is somewhere in the middle of all the bullshit. It's somewhere in between the two extremes. It's like, it's like a Venn diagram, flat Earth, round Earth, then truth Earth.
Like in the middle, huh?
Yeah, there's some overlapping qualities. That's my take on it. I don't know what specifically, but I've seen something that makes me feel like that the sky is like a wheel, like the zodiac wheel thing. I've seen movement in the stars over the course of a night that just really convinced me that, like, I don't know, man. The zodiac wheel?
Yeah, the stars spinning in the constellation.
Yeah, that's like, it moves around the fucking Earth like this, bro. You can watch it. It's like it's like a big gear, like a cog.
Yeah.
Like, so if that's true, I don't know. But anyway.
Yeah. So let's go down a different rabbit hole.
I was gonna say something else. You mentioned like the Anunnaki and the aliens, right? There's also been another really big conspiracy not necessarily. Well, actually, about like what aliens are. Have you been keeping up with like Tucker Carlson at all?
Tucker Carlson talking about them being like spiritual creatures,
Like demonic.
Yeah, demonic and angelic type creatures. Yeah,
because that's like the Anunnaki. It would be the fallen angels.
Yeah.
And the fallen angels were supposed to come down here and bred with the humans, and that's how giants,
Nephilim, and all that
Nephilim.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I'm hip to all that. I've been learning.
So it's like two different stems.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Almost every ancient story has some type of flood story. Every ancient civilization has at least some type of flood story.
Yeah. I mean, we might be we only know of this incantation and then the past go round. There might be a go round before that one. There could be a go round before that one.
Right.
If history is lost from hundreds of years ago and we only know about 2000 and then the flood time,
which was about 2000 BC, I believe.
Yeah, so it's like if we only know that far back and the earth is as old as they say it is,
I looked at well, it just depends on what flood you're talking about. Like the biblical flood, they said was because I was looking at these dates the other day. It was like 4,000-ish years ago, which is interesting because the pyramids are like 4,500 years ago. At least that's the oldest. Like the archaeologists are willing to go back. There's there's lots of people that think the pyramids are way older than that. I mean, that's the pyramids don't make any sense at all.
Since we know of time, the pyramids have just been there.
Yeah, and they're the tall. Do you know the next tallest structure that was built after the pyramids?
What's that?
The Eiffel Tower in the 1800s. So between 4,500 years ago, there was no taller than the Pyramid of Giza. There's no taller structure that's ever been built till the Eiffel Tower.
Crazy.
Yeah. And they did, bro. You get to look at the stones. You get to looking at like they talk about the water that's where they can see what do they call it when the water erosion, erosion that's been on the pyramids. They believe that there's like a younger Dryas deal, which was the last ice age, the last like apocalyptic type deal, like where everything was fucking up. The water rose like 400 feet. It's just like I think they say it's like 12,000 years ago. And then you see like these old sites. So that's like why Graham Hancock's show is so interesting because like they can there's a place called Göbekli Tepe and it's like the oldest carbon dated like megalithic structure. And it's like it's built in a time, it's carbon dated back to a time where they were supposed to be just hunter gatherers.
Right.
And it's just like so they was out hunter gathering and then they've built a structure.
Yeah.
Like giant stones. That doesn't make no sense.
Yeah. And this just ties into the whole, like, do you believe in Tartaria? Have you heard of Tartaria? It's like an ancient civilization, and they were actually harboring the free energy that's available, like Nikola Tesla type shit.
Like you talking about like all free electricity and stuff.
Yeah, like all those old buildings in like Russia and shit like that, and they got like the spirals and the shit on the top. They're saying that those are like conductors, and there's a whole lot. If you look at Tartaria and then the Great Mud Flood is like what wiped out the everything essentially. So that could be what they're talking about, like the last deal. Yeah. But Tartaria is supposed to be like an ancient advanced civilization, and they were able to build all these ridiculous structures.
Do you know what timeline that would be? Like how many thousand years do they think that was?
I don't know, but just there's a theory.
I'll go look at Tartaria.
Yeah, there's a theory that ties into it that like we showed up to America and like everything was like mostly already built. And that's why if you dig down, you'll find like a whole nother layer of like building and street and all type of shit up underneath what we have right now in a lot of places.
Really? Well, when we think of underground cities, have you heard of Derinkuyu in Turkey? It's an underground. I had to show you a picture, bro. Like, cause Derinkuyu. I watched a video on this last night too, but I've heard about it on that show I was talking about. But no, I've been looking at Derinkuyu for a while. So before I show you what it actually looks like, this is the drawing of it. That's what's underground. And
hey, that looks like fucking what's that shit called? Fallout.
Yeah. Well, this was like, they could house like 20,000 people in here. This is like a 5-mile underground city in Turkey. And it's not too far away from that other thing I was talking about. Göbekli Tepe was from like 11,000 years ago, and that's in Turkey also. And then there's another one that they're just now excavating. It's 5 miles away, and you can go from this underground city to the other one completely underground. Shit's wild. But let me show you the real what it looks like underneath here. You're gonna trip out, fam.
It's crazy.
This is what the average room looks like.
For real?
Yes. You have to go look at Darren Kuyu. This shit's insane. There's an underground river, so they have a water source. There's stables. They had horses and stuff under there. Whoever would go in here would because it's ancient, it's old as fuck. They carbon dated it back, like the furthest they can go is like 3,000 or 4,000 years. A lot of people, there's people that think it's older than that, right?
Yeah.
But even the Christians hid in there. Like when they were getting persecuted, they would just go down there and hide. There was like churches built in there and like new arches that they came in there and but there's different levels and each level blocks off so you can go further down. It's vented. You can have a fire.
That's like nuts.
Like it's like an underground like hotel like type deal, and it's old as hell. Yeah, Darren Kuyu is insane. Like, what are they doing in there? Like, so most people think it was like defense. Other people think that it was to maybe survive, like the weather, like the elements during stuff like an ice age. But that's the far out explanation. The archaeologists tend to say more like the straight and narrow guys say, oh, this is just they built this to play defense in, like to stop from getting attacked and stuff. So I can see that too.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, you don't do that for an entire 5 mile span.
It's a huge city, dude.
Yeah,
that's capable that you can live in, and you could outlast. Because of the water system, you just have to have food.
Yeah,
you could stay down there for a long time, and you could they could trap people in almost. So like, and there was exits. There was like secret exits that they could get out of and stuff. I mean, it's really fascinating, and it goes down like. I can't remember the feet, how deep Darren Kuyu is. Let me ask that.
Bro, people used to be so smart. Like,
how deep is Darren Kuyu?
In useful ways.
It says Darren Cove. Darren Cookie. Darren
Kuyu.
This is some shit that 85 meters, so 279 feet down. Almost 5 miles wide. And like I said, you can connect to another one that they just started. They don't know how big it is. That could be the small one.
It could be the small one.
Because they just started excavating the other one.
That's insane.
There's shit on Earth that doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah, because we haven't been told the truth.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Tinfoil hats.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you critically think about, like, just, I don't know, can we, what's something people conspiracize about? Like,
the moon landing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take it. I mean, fine. That's a real easy one. Everybody's familiar. It's not too far out there, right?
Yeah. But I mean, it would be, if they did really fake that, then that is huge. Like, globally, a huge lie.
So, I mean, there's also the theory that they did go to the moon and they found out that there was a base on the moon.
Oh, yeah, the base on the backside.
The base on the backside, the side that you don't see.
Yeah.
The dark side of the moon.
Yeah, but it wouldn't technically be dark if you believe what scientists say, because the sun still shines on its ass. It's just dark to us, right? Yeah, because the sun, the moon, how they describe it, the moon goes around us like this. Oh, shit. My bad. I need a better deal. You know what I'm saying? We see this. Yeah. That's why we see the same face of the moon. Is how that deal goes. But anyways, what are you saying?
I mean, okay. I mean, if you just like think about it critically, right? That was the 60s.
Right.
Have we been back at any point? And they say they lost the technology.
That's the goofy one. That's super goofy. And then
all the code was just written down and it got thrown away.
That's goofy. That's insulting.
You haven't been back. And then it's like, the joke in pop culture is so fucking deeply rooted and marinated about the moon landing being fake. I just feel like it's a ha-ha, look.
We got away with it, yeah. Have you heard about like the Van Allen radiation belt? That's the one thing that I can't get past. Now, like,
see, that's another thing I've always considered. That's something else. The first time, now this is when I started making my connections. Because I randomly ended up watching these videos about the Van Allen radiation belts. And they talk about how it's essentially like going through a super powerful microwave, and it's going to cook everything. It's extremely hot.
Yeah.
It fries you. It fries electronics. And that it would take a good amount of time to get a ship
over
through.
2 hours. It's like 2 hours. You'd have to go through 2 hours of radiation.
Right. And they say this, yet they say, no, we got through that and went to the moon.
The problem I have is like NASA has videos about when they started making new designs, and they were like, yeah, we finally solved how to get through the radiation belt. After the moon landing, there's videos. Like I was watching a deal today. It's people at NASA talking about, hey, we solved the problem.
I saw that.
Didn't you solve the problem in the 60s? Why don't we just use the old shit?
Exactly. So it kind of makes you question, like,
and
damn.
they had an aluminum hole on the other deal. They say you need like lead on the outside. So like it doesn't really make sense that the craft they made. Then they got caught faking the window. The supposed picture when they were halfway to the moon,
Mm-hmm.
they got caught faking with the outtake of faking the moon, like faking seeing the Earth.
Dang.
They put they were putting something on there to block the window to make the Earth look like it was farther away. And there's people that think that they faked that shot and that they were still in the in low Earth orbit.
I mean,
I know we can get to. I personally believe you can get into low Earth orbit.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I think that's where the satellites are, shit like that.
I don't think you can go beyond that, though.
I don't think humans can. They might have sent some crazy shit off, some type of robot off. I'm not sure, but I'm really not convinced that there's shit on Mars. I really am not.
It's so sketchy because they just say it and you're supposed to just
Believe it.
Believe it. We're the government. Trust us. No.
When they've lied, it's just like that. They have a bad track record. It's goofy. It's kind of like our credit score, like them being so in debt, and then us. And
they telling us, I don't think you're good for a house. No.
Trillions of dollars in debt, and we have a credit score. Yeah. It's the same deal. Like we're the government, We may have killed JFK, but fuck it, believe us about the moon.
JFK's a good one.
Yeah. Which that one doesn't make sense. And that one's for a while people have known didn't make sense.
Have you seen like the actual video?
Of his head getting
No,
like the actual video?
The real video that shows the driver doing it.
Oh no, I haven't seen that. So they think the driver did it. I've always
it's a
heard there was
real
like
video
a guy on the hill.
They cut the video. Bro, that you can the driver, like you see it.
But what about all the people on the road? They didn't see that?
It's the government, bro.
What they Men in Black him? What they hit him with the flash?
Who's to say they didn't?
Yeah, I always thought it was they had shooters in place. I never thought it was the driver personally. But there was a doctored video where, like the one they showed on TV, and if you look closely in the background, there's like a tree floating.
That's the edited video.
Yeah, that's the edited
the Reels of Pruder video is what it's called.
Yeah.
I saw it. And it's like, I think it'd be really hard to edit that. Maybe I could be wrong. I don't know. The AI implications are crazy, but I know what I've seen. And the thing about it that makes me believe it's real is that I've heard people talk about this for several years. Like that this actual video that showed, and when I actually saw it, I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, I definitely think the CIA did it though.
Oh, the CIA runs the country.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, like now that's such a like it's like I think most people know that though. Like we're considering conspiracy theories. Like you can talk about this shit now, like because it's almost like
the people
can't do anything about it. Really, it's just like it's almost like the consensus that on most subjects we do feel like we're getting lied to. On most subjects, we feel like they've gave us some type of story to hold us over. Mm-hmm. And so collectively, we're like, a lot of people are like, if you ask the average person, do you trust the government now? If we could go take a poll in America, do you trust the government now?
I think people on both sides or all over the political spectrum would say no.
Fuck no. But they've gamed us into the system, and it's just like, well, most people have one side, and it's just like not that side.
And by the time you realize, it's like you're already so into your life. It's like, what? Damn, what am I gonna do?
Nothing. And that's that is the problem with being a common person, is that you don't have the control over world changing things. Like me and you, like there's never been a moment in my life where I was like, you know what? What I need as an individual is nuclear weapons. You know what I'm saying? But nuclear weapons get created because governments have beef going on with other governments. I never needed no damn nuclear weapon, personally. You know what I'm saying? That's not a common person need. I guess if other countries have nuclear weapons, I guess as the common person, I mean, yeah, you do need your government to have them because that's a deterrent to maybe keep you from getting your ass blasted off the damn map. You know, I see it in that sense, and it's just like the army. I was in the army. I see why there is an army.
Yeah.
As I get older, would I want to participate in that? Fuck no. Never woke up in the morning and was like, you know what? What I need to do today is go fight a fucking stranger to the death.
Right. In a foreign country.
In a foreign country. If I could sit down with whoever I'm about to kill and share a drink with him and eat some food, if we sat down at a table and there was a way for us to communicate, there's no fucking way that me and this person would be ready to kill each other afterwards.
Break bread, man, for sure.
But I see it's just like the systems that are locked in. You need nukes because other people have nukes. You need an army because other people have armies. You need war because people aren't going to stop fighting.
All right.
It's things and that's what, as the common person, it's just like get in with the system or don't. But like that doesn't affect the system. How do you affect the system? Like you get enough people together. But then like their whole goal of a system is to stay a system. Am I talking crazy? Or
No, to affect the government, you have to become a government.
Yeah, and then corrupt yourself and become the problem.
It's just the cycle. It's like
that makes a lot of sense.
You overthrow the government, and eventually you're the government, and then 100 years later, you're the problem.
Yeah.
Like, and now it's overthrow
KB and the Cake House Empire.
Sorry, y'all. Damn, I tried. Like, fuck.
Yeah, you let it get to your head, all the cookie cells.
Oh man,
you let it corrupt you. What are you saying, Batman? You're the hero long enough to...
you either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Jeez. But that is real, though. I do think that is real. But you got that, like, it takes a special person to grow old and be solid, like a solid individual, like you know, sometimes these people get like these lifetime achievement awards, like maybe not these famous people. I'm talking about like local people. And you be like, dude, if somebody was impacted the community for like 50, 60 years, like that is the hell of a person. To stay the hero your whole life, like everybody's got their little fuck ups and shit. And a lot of these people have probably done some bad shit, but like to overall, you know what I'm saying? To overall be positive.
The hero.
Effect, that would be impressive.
Yeah,
I would like to. Get
I don't think it's that hard, man. It's just like you gotta do what you do. I don't know, maybe. But everybody, like, you know, maybe that only works for like famous people or like for
people in power.
Yeah, people in power, people in media, people that are publicly accessible by pretty much everybody, because it's like public opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's like a swaying public opinion.
Yeah.
You know, so as long as...
Which is a wild thought to think of, and why, like, I always wrestle with, like, so let's say I have, like, all these, I've always had these, like, big goals of, like, I'm going to do this and get here and do this and get here. And it's like some of these places, some of the destinations I used to pray for, I'm not sure is what I would even want to go to at this point. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing that I've always struggled with is people don't know you. They just form their thoughts on you, and then you become that person. It's almost like we were talking earlier, to circle back. Like, you can so easily become the cookie guy that looks like Post Malone, and that can be so much of what people think about you. And it's just like, dude, they don't know anything about you and have opinions of you. And then you get famous, or you get a whole bunch of attention, and then you just magnify that.
All right.
By the million, you know? Like, you take, like, because there's people that know me, there's people that know you in town. There's people that have opinions of me and you.
Right.
I think for the most part, me and you've handled our business in the right way. For the most part, from what I know of me and from what I know of you,
Absolutely.
we probably have a pretty good track record with the town. You know, there may be a couple angry rappers at me because I fucking spoke my mind to them before, but like I'm not just actively out here doing people bad.
Right.
But you take that and you amplify that by like 1 million.
Mm-hmm.
People are gonna find shit wrong with you.
I mean,
or not even stuff that's actually wrong with you. They're gonna, I guess, just form bad opinions about you, right?
I mean, it's like with any good, you're gonna always have some bad. And I feel like if the general consensus is that somebody is, or somebody or something or anything, like say there's we can say cake house, you can say maybe just an amazing dish at a restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm.
9 out of 10 people, maybe 19 out of 20, maybe 49 out of 50 people may come to my establishment and go, yo, these are the best cookies I ever had. But 1 out of 50s are going to go, these are fucking nasty.
This is trash.
Yeah, so you could take that same dish that 49 people has been like, oh my God, that one person's like, this is fucking gross.
Yeah, and it may not even be a taste bud thing, like a fucking...
They just... It could be anything, or it could be like well, it wasn't what I thought it was gonna be type shit. It ain't, it ain't what y'all hyped it up to be, and it's like, there's always the contrarian. But even just for a little attention, just to say like
1 out of 50 times 1 million, and then you have, I don't know what that is, but
I don't either, but
50,000 or
something like that.
Something like that. Hella haters. And they don't necessarily just hate you. I think a lot of haters are just like fucking haters. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't necessarily just, some people just hate shit, like in general.
Mm-hmm.
I think the internet is full of just people that just, I don't know what they like.
Well, yeah, I mean, hating gets engagement. Hating is like a professional sport now.
Yeah.
The best haters get paid now. Like, I'm sure there's a YouTube page dedicated specifically to hating on shit.
And they probably booming. And then they got comments. The people in the comments probably hating on the hater. Like a big fucking circle hate.
Yeah, man. Just
what happened to a good old circle jerk? Now they're just out there doing the circle hate.
Circle hate, man. You ever seen you ever watch Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
Remember the play a hater ball skit?
The play a hater ball. Dude, Dave Chappelle that was like the best skit show we've ever had. We only got 2 seasons of it. It's so crazy.
And then a odd kind of half season thing that had a couple good moments, but
the original ones was crazy. The black dude in the KKK shit, like bro,
Clayton Bigsby, the white black supremacist, the black white supremacist.
Yeah, shit like that, bro. That's like, how do you top that?
The racial draft.
Yeah, I like the one where he was in the club and Tupac was telling him
this
about
was the realest shit I ever wrote in '94.
Yeah. He was like telling the future in the song. Dude. Oh, man. But yeah, I think to go back to it, it's like, and then, so I asked somebody this the other day, because it's something I've been hearing. How many, because there's like the discussion of like bots on the internet.
Oh, man.
Yeah. How many of these negative, like shit ass comments are just like a fucking bot?
That's hard to parse through too, because AI's getting pretty damn good. You know what I'm saying?
Have you seen that Meta AI on posts that have a lot of comments is now coming in and
giving like an explanation,
giving a summary of the comments, not even an explanation of the video.
Users are saying that.
Yes.
Users are commenting on the fact that.
Yeah.
I mean, that Meta AI is strange, bro. Like, I was trying to search on something on Instagram. I was searching for like some outfit ideas for my wife's birthday dinner and shit like that. So I'm like, men's formal dinner wear or some shit like that. And I accidentally clicked the goddamn Meta AI button and it generated me an image of a man wearing a fancy shirt at a fancy restaurant. And I was like, bro, what the fuck is this?
Yo, give me the search bar back.
Yeah, bro. Like, what are you doing?
A lot of people don't like Meta AI as far as it being the search bar for Facebook and Instagram. I think that a lot of people, I don't know, people are kind of scared to get into the AI deal. And I don't know, but it's coming. I think it's coming regardless if you want to use it as a search bar.
Bro, there's a huge push for it right now, I think, because, I mean, there's AI for literally anything that you need to do. I mean, and it's on Google. It's on, like, it's everywhere. It's too accessible. It's easy to use, and you can use it for almost anything. Like it's one of them things where you can ask it a question, and it's not just going to give you the Wikipedia article, and it's going to tell you
search the whole internet.
Yeah.
When you ask Gemini, which is Google's one, it gives me like a summary with bullet points and stuff. Like if you ask Snapchat AI a question, it normally just gives you an answer, and it doesn't tell you like, you know what I'm saying? It'll give you like a paragraph.
Yeah.
So like, if I ask, let's ask, we can do some experimenting here because that's fun. We say, where do zebras come from in Africa, right?
Right.
Zebras come from, and if I say in Africa, maybe it'll give us a better,
right. A little more specific.
Yeah. Let's see. Zebras come from Africa, the grasslands across different regions. So wherever the grasslands are, let's ask, what are the grasslands in Africa?
It's going to be a long list of countries.
Probably so. Known as the savannas. The savannas are a vast expanse of land characterized. No, they still won't give me no countries, but the savannas.
The savannas.
There you have it. But so my point is that's what this will give me. Snapchat's AI gives you a paragraph.
Right.
If you ask Gemini, it'll give you like bullet points. Like it's gonna tell you.
It's gonna help you really understand what's going on.
It, yeah. And so like everybody has all these different companies have their different version of AI.
Mm-hmm.
You have Gronk is what Elon's working on.
Yeah.
Gemini is Google. ChatGPT is OpenAI and all that stuff. Then you've got Meta AI. Mm-hmm. You've got Snapchat's AI. Everybody's got their own stuff.
Yeah.
I think Amazon's working on their own AI.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. And so basically all the billionaires are trying to have their own AI. But anyways, the thing is, it's like a weapons race. From my understanding, we can't stop making AI because China's not going to stop making AI.
It's like the Cold War.
Yeah, it's 100% like the Cold War. There's a lot of people. Like I've listened to two separate groups of two guys have came on Rogan. These are so 4 people, 2 in each group, have come on in different parts, in different episodes, and talked for like 3 hours plus about, maybe we should slow down AI.
Yeah.
And that's like their whole job in life is like they go to Congress, they go to these big AI summits, they go to all this shit and like security and all that stuff. And maybe we should slow down AI. It's like, that's like their whole life goal now because they're like scared of it. You know what I mean? So like I've listened to at least 6 hours of like maybe AI is going to do too much. And so that's kind of freaked me out a little bit. But like from my understanding is like if another country masters it before us, it's going to be like them getting nukes before us. Which would be bad. Because anytime somebody has something that somebody else don't have, I'm not saying this is right. Obviously, I disagree with it. But you know what they're going to do. They're going to use that on whoever is the person under them that doesn't have the right shit.
Yeah. The AI arms race.
It is.
The AI arms race.
Because you got to think about this. Like, so there's these videos out now of jet pilots doing simulations against AI. These are like the top jet pilots in America. Can't beat AI in a jet fight. So it's like, if we master that before somebody else is and we get a pilotless jet plane, runs off AI, they can beat a human every single time, just like a chess player can't beat a computer chess player every time. Okay, now you're really cooking in warfare. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is huge advantage. You're telling me that we're winning in the air every fight? Make your balls big. That'll make you want to go fucking test some shit, huh? Man, not us, not the normal person.
That's scary.
That is scary.
And also, it reminds me of a theory.
What's that?
That it's already an AI that's like, running everything behind.
Oh, yeah.
The ancient AI God theory. Like,
yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. What if there was something like that was But my thing was, I mean, unless its goal was just like chaos and war, then it would be doing a bad job. But I mean, if that was its goal, then yeah, like if there was a AI behind the scenes, just like, hey, the humans are most useful when they're fighting each other.
Right.
Then it's doing a hell of a job. Because every country, you know, there's countries hate each other and shit, and there's always going to be a war. But if it was an AI meant on peace, they're doing a shit ass job.
So who would know?
Who would know?
Who would know?
But I mean, like you see the work in robotics.
Mm-hmm.
You see the work in AI. You know, a robot body, you know, an intellectual mind.
Right.
You have a body, you have a mind. You know, me and you, we have a body and a mind. And then maybe possibly we have some other factor in us, right?
The soul. The spark of life.
Yeah. But like scientifically, it's hard to prove that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, science isn't everything.
Right. Yeah. But I'm just saying. So like what we're dealing with is something with a body and a brain.
Right.
And if their body is tougher and their brain is smarter, then it's like, oh, wait a minute.
I mean, you're describing Jarvis from fucking Avengers.
Yeah. What happened when something went wrong with Jarvis? Do you remember the movie? Ultron?
He was going to kill everybody.
Yeah. When dude saw 15 minutes, when he downloaded the history of man in 15 minutes,
he was like, oh.
Ultron was like, y'all fucking suck.
Y'all gotta go. What the fuck are y'all doing? Shit is all in peace and harmony here, and then here go y'all fucking it up.
Yeah.
Like,
the movie literally told us that when AI wakes up, the first thing it thinks about is how fucking stupid we are.
Like how inefficient we are.
Yeah, we're not efficient. Yeah, and what's crazy about us as humans is we reach our max efficiency when we're in all out war. Think about all the like crazy innovation that went on during World War II. There were so many things with the planes. There was radar systems that came out. There was night vision systems that came out. There was ways to detect getting bombed at night. There was all these things because like your homies are getting destroyed. So it's like, okay, we got to save our people.
Right.
And so we have to come up with this new thing.
Out of necessity.
Like, and then like the whole country is like, okay, well now that we're in a war, we need to win the war. Let's throw all the money at it. You know, like the military industrial complex and shit. So it's like, we work best as humans when shit is fucked up. We really do.
Because when things are cushy, you know, you get the fucking off.
Yeah, everybody's chilling. So my question is, do you think well, I mean, that's not a good question because that's just too subjective. I was going to ask, do you think we were meant to be at war?
No.
I don't think we were.
No. I think...
Do you think we're...
I think people are greedy. I think every war... in the past 100 years or so, maybe since like the 1900s, I can't speak. I mean, shit, maybe even the industrial, I mean, not the industrial, the Revolutionary War. Maybe even that was in somebody's script.
Maybe so.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe somebody wanted everything to play out just like it did. You can't count that out that somebody wanted the Japan and US to go to war. Like, you can't, like, somebody wanted that somewhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's too many, you can't make me not believe it because there's just too many connections to too many things throughout history. So it's like, I don't think people are meant to be that way, but I think people who run things and that are greedy and want to control everything.
So what do you think, they get used to running things and don't want to stop running things?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like, it's kind of a vie for control because if you have bought out the United States and the United States is like, will go and fuck anybody up that you need to, like, and you can get the United States, like, hey, they over there trying to back out of the motherfucking central banking system. They trying to do state banking over there. They trying to go to the gold standard over there. You better go get them before they fuck it up for y'all.
Yeah.
They got weapons of mass destruction over there. I know they do.
Yeah.
I know they do.
No proof.
I know it. I saw it. They told me I gotta go get them.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
It's bad.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like all this shit is engineered, honestly, man. I feel like there's definitely people that like pull the strings and like a lot of politics is a show. A lot of it's real. There's definitely like real leaders out there. But like, you know, I feel like there's a lot of controlled opposition.
That's interesting stuff. I think I think that individual countries have people leading them that you can't see. I don't know if it's a collective because like you said, it just depends on like what's the goal here. I just keep going back to like, which makes me kind of agree with you, is that I think that smart people know that if we're fighting, as long as they can control the fighting, it is the most profitable times. It is the best time to stay in power. The problem with fighting is you open the door to losing and losing like power, or I mean, obviously like all the civilian lives and military lives that you're just throwing at people. It's like how many times throughout history have people been thrown as, you know, like just to get killed, like just
always and forever, man. And it's like I feel like these people, I don't feel like it's like whatever side loses, I think it still benefits them essentially.
Well, unless you get conquered.
Yeah,
there's people that have been wiped off the fucking shit, and sometimes it seems like they need to be wiped off there. That is another aspect of it. But then I don't know. America's played like the good guy. We played like the good guy for a while, but then like the stuff with like Korea, and then like what was the other one? Vietnam. Mm-hmm. Then it started getting harder for them to convince us that we're the good guy, and we kind of just seemed like the bully. And then like we go over to Iraq for no fucking reason. Well, there was a reason, but not the reason they say. And pretty much everyone looks back at like Iraq and shit and say, oh, well, they didn't really have that, and you know, 9/11 is what it is. And so it's like, damn, maybe. You know, maybe that was all something else, and then that's sad because think of all the people that died for that. And if it was for something like oil, think about how awful that is.
You know, there's this conspiracy. They said there's a Stargate in Iraq. I know lots of conspiracies.
Oh yeah. Well, Iraq is where like another conspiracy is Iraq is also where like Samaria was, like that, like the text I was talking about earlier.
You know what Stargate is?
Stargate is what is Stargate?
Like a interdimensional, intergalactic, like portal type of thing.
Oh Lord, no, I ain't never heard of that.
Yeah, interdimensional travel type shit.
No, I didn't know that. But I feel like we would have just took that from them, or maybe we did. You think we did already?
I mean, I think it's there. I mean, or it was there. I bet they did seize that shit, scooped it up, put it in a helicopter or something.
Can you do that? You don't know the physics, huh?
I don't know what a Stargate actually consists of. I just know that I've read a lot of times and heard a lot of theories about there being one in Iraq, and that's why we really went over there.
Yeah, I've heard oil. I've heard there's other, like I said, conspiracies that think that there's ancient stuff from like ancient civilization type stuff there, because that could be a point of where some shit was going on beforehand. I don't know, man. I want to bring up one more conspiracy deal, and then at the end, I want to talk about the psychology behind like conspiracy theories too.
Okay,
sound fair? Let's talk about one, because this is.
I'll give you a tour.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's talk. Let me tell you about another interesting one that I've been thinking about, and that has been presented to me. Have you heard of the simulation theory? Like that we like almost like a Matrix type situation.
Like we're somebody's Sims.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm like this could be like a video game type deal.
They say that the closer that you get to actually simulate, like as close as we are to have simulating this world, that implies that this is most likely also a simulation.
Okay, so you're with me. So that has really been on my mind lately. That shit is insane. There's a lot of compelling things. So there's a guy named Rizwan Virk. He came on Rogan, talked for like 3 hours. He used to create video games, like build open world video games himself. You know what I'm saying? Him and the companies he worked for and stuff. And it's like, okay, so now after watching these games grow from like Skyrim and stuff like that, like these big giant open worlds with main characters and NPCs and shit of that nature, he was starting to see the similarities between our reality, or what we call reality, and like simulation, like a game. And so it's like if you were to take our technology and give us 100 more years on video games. So you think about where we came from 1900 to 2000, right? Or even 2020. You take that same amount of time and give us another one of them, say 125 years. Where we'll be at with video games.
Right.
Do you not think that we could design a video game, or, design like an Earth world where there is a guy in there that has so many options and stuff to where that guy decides to build a video game? What would you call the guy building a video game inside of a video game? What would you call him?
I don't know what you would call him.
But do you see where I'm going with that? Though?
Yes. Do you watch Rick and Morty?
No, but people tell me that I need to watch Rick and Morty.
You're describing so many episodes right now, and it's just like, I understand exactly what you're saying because I've seen all of these every season at least 4 to 5 to 6 times. Like, that's a lot. I've watched a lot of Rick and Morty. I love it. I get something new from it every single time.
I'm more like an American Dad, Family Guy.
Bro,
I go that route.
If you like that, please.
I'll watch Rick and Morty.
Yes, it's like sci-fi, conspiracy theory, bullshit. It's great.
I need to watch it. Yeah,
it's raw, it's rude, it's crude, it's all the things. It's good.
Yeah, I like stuff like that.
Yeah, but you're describing so many different things. So there's an episode where Rick, he's like the smartest man in his universe. Because he essentially, but he's the smartest man in the universe. And he has his car. But in one episode, he's designed this battery. Well, the battery that the car runs on. But it's like a microcosm of a universe. And he like has them in there generating the electricity for his car. He's introduced this mechanism to them that provides electricity to them in their society, and they have jobs and lives.
Introduced it into it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He introduces. He built this world, the people, everything. Introduces to him electricity. Now he's got a battery for his car, right? In that universe, the smartest man in that universe has done the same thing. So the car battery dies because he's made a smaller world that's in there producing. Like, it's just the same thing.
Wow. So
what you described to me is like that.
Yeah.
Almost to a T.
Yeah.
The tiny verse.
Yeah, the tiny verse. Because they talk about, have you ever studied in I know you probably haven't, what do they call this shit? Quantum mechanics. Like, I know you're not like a professor of quantum, but I'm saying, have you ever looked into
I try to understand it as much as I can because
that's how I am. It's very complicated. Like quantum computing, especially because of all the variations of shit. And then,
but I have some type of understanding that I can't put words to, and it's only because experiences that I've had.
So like psychedelic experience gave you like some kind of insight into like quantum mechanics?
I don't know about quantum mechanics, but like just the true workings of like the universe, which I assume quantum mechanics is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because it's the particles that kind of decide what atoms and all that shit that we're made up of. God, that doesn't make no sense. It does make sense, but it doesn't make sense. When people tell you like we're
okay, so if you look at like the universe, like the universal map, and you see all these like galaxies and spirals and twisty things and like that, but you also like, and you have to see that. We can't even see that from here. We have to. They say it's with a giant telescope that's taking pictures of all of this shit, right? Yeah. But just imagine how the star looks tonight, right? Have you ever seen like a zoomed in picture on a cell? Like how if you go down into a cell looks like its own little universe.
Yeah.
Like I just like, if you ever like, it's like a camera zoom thing, and it goes so far in on you that it turns into the sky and the stars and the moon and the stuff, but it comes back and it's like the person again. Like,
you're saying that there could be universes inside of atoms or something? Like,
I mean, maybe our universe is a tiny piece of an unfathomably large being that we're inside of. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's like it could be a video game. It could be a fucking.
Who knows what existence actually is? You know what I mean?
Yeah. To come back to my wild shit meter. My wild shit meter's been going off all night, man. But it's just like even the like, let's go back to like, okay, they say Big Bang, everything came from nothing and it exploded and it created this, and it's just like, fam, my wild shit meter is going nuts on that shit too.
Like, how do you know that? How could you possibly determine that?
Well, they say it's because they're measuring how the universe is expanding, and they say if it's expanding, that it must have imploded. Like measuring something. Like if you track a bullet traveling, they'll say, okay, well, you know that it was and they put it in motion at some
Right.
point. And that's kind of like, I think that's like the logic of going back to the Big Bang because of how the universe is expanding.
But I don't think we can fairly say that we understand the universe enough to measure it that way. Personally,
When people will look at you crazy when you say shit like that, but I'm just saying that scientists, or I think that scientists are probably way too overconfident about shit that they call like laws, especially when there's a lot of shit that they don't understand, like dark matter and dark energy and shit like that.
Ether, that's such a good topic.
There's just shit that they don't understand. But it's like, I don't know. We're almost to the point where I'm ready to talk about the psychology of the shit. But my last point, so the video game, it makes sense. And if there was a creator, why couldn't he create, like even let's take God from the Bible. If he makes this universe, right? Why couldn't it be in video game format?
What do you mean?
Like why like how he created it? Why does it? I mean, it could be like creating a game.
So I'm gonna go back to Rick and Morty again.
Okay.
They have an episode where they go to an arcade. It's called Blitz and Chips, and they have a game called Roy. And when you put the helmet on, you're like Roy from birth, and you go through Roy's whole life. But then you come back, and you're like, it's fine. It's been 10 minutes. It's just a game. You're just playing Roy.
That's wild. Yeah. Golly, bro. Imagine when you die and you wake up to something else. Like and there's some people that think that, like you were saying at the beginning, there's some people that do think like this is it.
Like once you're dead and gone, it's just there's nothing beyond that. I have some interesting beliefs about death.
Yeah. I don't know, but imagine waking up and then like it being like, oh, hey, that was try number 57. Let's see if you can do this better. Try 58.
All right, fuck, okay.
Here we go again. And then you come out as a baby and you don't remember nothing, but maybe you remember things from your past that you can kind of like you instinctually start learning different or something. What do you think?
So, I don't read many books, so let me not give the impression that I'm just like, oh, I read books, I'm so smart. It's really hard. I think I have ADHD.
Yeah.
But like, so when I was on the road, I was doing like an audiobook, and I was listening to the Tibetan Book of the Dead. Mm. And in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, they talk about these people, and they essentially, and this is an ancient text. It's from Tibet,
and it's
legit
text. Yeah,
legit. But it's essentially about these people, and they refer to them as psychonauts, and that's crazy. But they learn how to die, and they teach people how to die. And when I say that it's like they practice by entering essentially this deep, deep, deep state of meditation, almost like a sleep-like state. Like you're going to sleep, but you don't go to sleep. Your body's asleep, but your mind. It's almost the state which people would say that you would be astral projecting, like in the astral plane, alive in the dream world type shit. But they practice this, and their goal is to essentially build up this astral body that you can kind of like, I guess, I don't know the practice, but it's like, they practice strengthening this astral body. And then whenever you go through judgment, everything's not stripped away. You're able to hold on to memories and knowledge and things from your past life. So that's how, the Dalai Lama is like Tibetan. It's like their highest religious figure, or I don't know the specifics, right. But they say the Dalai Lama is always a reincarnation. So when they find him, when they was like, hey, this kid, he's been saying his name is so-and-so, and he was the Dalai Lama, and he was born here. And so they'll come out and they'll lay out a bunch of items, and they'll say one of these items was the so-and-so's favorite whatever, the last Dalai Lama's favorite thing. And then if it's really him, they're supposed to be able to find that item.
Have you ever watched Avatar?
I have. My son loves the Avatar.
That's how, like, if you read the books, that's how they pick the Avatar. So there's a book about Kyoshi, which is the Earth lady that came before Aang, before Roku, and I'm way too nerdy out into this.
It's fine.
But the Avatars reincarnate every time when a kid grows up and starts showing the different signs of the different elements. They put them on a table with a bunch of toys in there, and they pick this like certain deals. So I'm sorry that I interrupted you, but
no, yeah,
but that's how they were like determining. That is him reincarnate. Okay, but yeah, I'm with you.
That's how they That's how they really find the Dalai Lama in real life.
And they do it every time, huh? There's a Dalai Lama right now. That's crazy.
I mean, but like, yeah, so that Tibetan Book of the Dead, it's like, you know what I'm saying? You enter this deep state of meditation and you're supposed to be, like I said, building this astral body. And this astral body is what contains your essence. It's your soul. Your soul. It's like a shield for your soul. Like your soul got to go through the wash. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's so something like that has to happen for you to be something after you die.
Well, so it's like you go through the life, you know, your soul is like judged. And then it's like, if your heart's pure or whatever, you know, you're supposed to have the option to pretty much like ascend. Or if it's not pure enough, you got to go through life again. Like you said, try 59. Let's go. Boot it back up.
Yeah.
So, you know, and like, that's why they say like you mentioned DMT, but the interesting thing about DMT is that a large amount of DMT is created in the body at birth and at death. Yeah. They say it's like a binding and an unbinding of the soul. Because it's the only time in life that it happens.
Yeah.
At birth and at death. That could be the binding.
Is DMT not involved in our dreaming stuff?
I don't know.
But anyways, birth and death, I know for sure because I've definitely.
Yeah, so it's like I feel like that's the bonding and the unbonding of like the soul. It's like in that period in between, that's when, like I said, you're supposed to go through judgment, and it's like your things, your character and everything that you did and how you lived is supposed to be weighed up on this scale.
Yeah. So is that why you think wild shit happens when you take DMT? Do you think you you think it's like a way to get judged like in the middle, maybe?
I think, and I've never taken DMT.
Okay, so you've never done it.
I've done LSD,
right,
and I've done shrooms, and that's it. And I smoke weed, and I have some drinks. Nothing more. I don't like pills. I don't do none of that funny business shit. I don't like powders.
No powders.
No powders, no pills, no sniffing, no snorting, no none of that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never taken DMT.
Yeah.
But a lot of people scared. I'm scared because I think you go to a place where you would be judged, but I don't think you're supposed to be there. And from what I've heard from a lot of people, if you're not ready to be there, they kind of ridicule you. The entities there, the machine elves, and I've heard of the small elves too, like little. And I heard they're like, look at this guy. He don't know what the fuck he's doing. Like, and they laugh at you and they ridicule you because you're not ready to be there. You're not supposed to be there. Like, what are you doing tapping into this shit, fam? Get the fuck out of here. It's like, this club is 65 and up. Like, get out of here. Like, you know.
But what about the people that have positive experiences from it?
Okay, now listen. I'm not going to say I've never had a positive experience. I've never had one with DMT. I'm just saying. Well, I'm just saying what I've heard based on.
Yeah, because I've talked to like Colton. He says, okay, he saw himself in like this mirror type deal, and like decided from that moment on, like he was seeing like the things that were holding him back. One of them being like drinking so much, and he was like, okay, I got to get sober.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a positive experience.
That's, to me, that's almost a universal psychedelic experience, from mushrooms to LSD, from small doses to almost intense doses. Like, if you want to, there's a certain point where you've got to face yourself, because everything that you don't like or everything that you've been worrying about or everything that bothers you is going to come, and it's going to like, and it'll make you just, oh my God, like, but you gotta, okay, I can take this. Let me take what I know. Cause I feel like it's a communication with the higher self almost. It's like the higher self that knows the person that you want to be, that knows the person that you can be, that sees you at your full potential, the potential that you imagine yourself to have, doing the things that you want yourself to go do. Like, you know, the self that's like, hey, you know, you've been getting up and going to the gym and making it to work on time, and you've been coming home and you've been doing all the things that, you know what I'm saying? You've been holding yourself to your own standards. Like that person. I feel like...
So when people say that they run into this being, lots of people say they run into like, they come in contact with some being when they do DMT. You think that could be just your true self?
I mean, that comes back to the like, there's your higher self, God, because, and ultimately, I feel like, not that we're God, but like almost I feel about, like I have the angel and the devil on my shoulder.
Right.
Right, like you're conscious. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, people a lot of times talk about this like Christ consciousness, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, is it that? Do I need to be like physically worshiping and saying, is it all mental? Is it, you know?
Yeah, because one talk me and him had, in the way that the conversation I said, well, let's try to look at this from the other side of the coin. Let's take away all the what some people would say, like the far out thoughts about it, and would say, okay, these are chemicals, or not even necessarily chemicals, but whatever is in these psychedelic experiences. That's just the reaction that's happening with your brain. Because a lot of people think that we are just our brain. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that think that we are just, you know, all our thoughts, all of who we are, all that shit is just wrapped up in neurons firing and sending messages to our body. And I mean, that's what doctors will tell you a lot of times.
Well, the brain's like the computer, but I still think there's a soul. There's another part. There's that spark of life. And you know what? Maybe everybody doesn't have that. Maybe there's some NPCs out here.
Yeah, because when you said maybe somebody doesn't have I mean, that makes me feel like, like, I don't know. Do you ever think...
I mean, if life is a simulation, do you believe that, like, if me and you aren't looking at the road out here right now, that it's not rendered and that it won't be there until, because we can't see it right now? Does it actually exist?
Yeah. There's a tree. Do you hear a tree fall in the woods or whatever?
Right. Yeah, exactly. If a tree falls in the woods and no one's around, does it make a noise?
Yeah. I'm going to say yeah. I think the game is good. Me personally, I think the game is just good as fuck. I think the game's so good that if it is a game, it's fooling the shit out of a lot of people. So it's got to be the hell of a game. It's got to be a hell of a game.
I mean, like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it is. I just feel like too many things sync up. Have you ever experienced any weird synchronicities?
Yeah, but wouldn't that be in a game? A game with a storyline? That wouldn't that almost kind of prove it? Because the randomness of like everything just being here, why is shit syncing up?
Exactly. That makes me believe in like not coincidences at all. Because I've personally had too many experiences that was just like,
no, what?
Like, hold on, bro. It made me question everything.
I was telling somebody about this the other day, fam. This is genuinely freaked me out. I had a guy come record. I record this guy all the time. He's working on this project. All the guys he works with are from out of town. Mm-hmm. And he does this specific type of rep. He's got his own little lane. He got his own little people. I don't say his name or any of the things involved with it. But anyways, he's just got his own little deal, and all his people are for somewhere else. I'm working on mixing everything now. We're at the end. Everybody's recorded all their stuff, sent me everything. We're at the end, mixing and mastering. I have, I guess, a dream of this guy, the guy that I've had contact with just through the phone, just through him, just the other guy. I've never met this guy in person, none of this shit. I have a conversation about what needs to be done on this song. Shit is fucking wild, bro. I promise. He tells me that he wants his voice to come in before the beat starts with the hook, and he even sang it in this. It was like a messenger video. I thought this dude sent me a message on Messenger telling me what needed to be done, and I thought that he had sent it to bro, and bro forwarded it to me. This is how I remembered it. I know what this guy looks like good enough to like. So I don't know if this is. I don't know what the fuck this was, fam. But it blew my mind because there's this one particular song is going on both their albums. I thought that was weird, but I didn't know this at the time. Mm-hmm. He told me in the message the message that I guess I fucking made up in my head. He told me about the deal. Let me look at the camera for a second. I'm telling y'all, I talked about this already, but it was on the other channel. He told me what he wanted done to the song and that the song was going on both albums. Maybe there is a chance, maybe somebody told me that one of them told me and subliminally it got into my head and you know what I'm saying? I just don't remember hearing the information for the first time. But I don't think so. Justin, the dude shows up and he's like, hey, let me show. I said, all we got to do left on this song is what the guy told me to do. And he was like, what'd he tell you to do? And I was like, you sent me the message. He already told me what to do. He wanted the deal before the hook and the deal before that. And he was like, no, I didn't send you a message. And I was like, well, the song's going on both your albums, right? He was like, yeah, how'd you know? They just decided this. And I was like, bro, what do you mean?
Right.
No, because I start freaking out. I'm like, bro, what do you mean? I know what needs to happen. I said, well, and so I said, okay, text him, tell him what he needs, ask him for the notes for what he needs done mixing. Fam, I'll show you afterwards. He sent a deal and it said, hey, I want my words to come in before the stuff starts. And there was a part in my dream, or whatever the fuck this shit was, where he said, I love when you mix my songs, they sound great. I like when you mix my voice for the other dude's project. And I remember this and thinking like, oh yeah, hell yeah, that's what's up. He sends the paragraph of what he needs done at the end. He's like, yeah, I love when you mix it. Keep up the good work. And I'm like, bro. And I said, so now I'm searching through his phone. I said, give me your phone. I take his phone. I'm looking at his message. I said, show me how do you contact him? Yeah. Show me how you contact this man. Right. Before I think I got telekinesis or some shit. Hey. And bro, the message never happened, dude. And I knew what to do with the song. I knew that he liked, that he was enjoying me mixing for him, that the song was going on both albums, and that he needed something done before then. I had some type of fucking dream where it was a video, video the size of the phone. You click on it in Messenger, and it was like, hey, bro, this is what I need done for the song. Right. He even, in the deal, he sang the chorus. He was like, because it's called Sabotage. And so he was like, sabotage, da da da. And he was like, I want that part to come before the song. Sabotage, da da da. Yeah. And fam, I've been freaked out about this shit for weeks. This was like 3 weeks ago. And I don't know how to explain it.
Like I said, you're never going to forget that. There's things that happen to you and they just kind of stick with you. Like I've got a lot of very insane instances of that? Synchronicities. I don't know what it is. But like, before we did Cake House, and I was like hanging TVs for myself, I was like unemployed at the time, really. Like I'll go and like sit out in the backyard. Cause one thing I can say about psychedelics is like they taught me how to like meditate. I always thought meditation was stupid until I just accidentally did it one day. And I was like, I was tripping balls. I think it was the first time I ever did LSD. And like I remember Kid Cudi was on, like the Kid Cudi album. It's called Passion, Pain, and Demon Slaying. It's a really great Kid Cudi project from top to bottom. Damn near flawless. It's great. Really slept on. Nobody talks about it. Yeah. Really great album though. Really powerful. But man, I was sitting there and I realized I was like, this is meditation. So from that point on, that's where I kind of started to, like I said, lean into believing and believing in God and believing in like intelligent creation and believing that it wasn't just what we have here and what we see here. And like, so my goal, I started meditating every day. Cause like I said, I was unemployed. All I did is like, I go to the gym. I would have jobs in the afternoon and shit. But my morning time was like meditate and go to the gym. So I would like sit outside for like 30 minutes to an hour. I'll roll me one up. I'll go sit on the ground. I'll take my shirt off. I'm just outside in some little shorts. You know what I'm saying? Sitting on the grass, like smoking one. And I just sit underneath the sun and I just sit there silently, man. And like, I would just sit there and I sit there to the point where I would feel like I locked in. It was a certain, I can't even describe it. It's like a certain feeling that I would feel like only on the inside, a mental image that I could see, almost like but it's like, the sun would almost acknowledge me. It's like, I know that it's hot, but it's like, I feel the sun like reaching down and like being extra warm just for me. Like, You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that, bud.
Yeah, like acknowledgement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like acknowledgement, like from something sentient almost. And it's weird.
People worship the sun from a long time ago. That's a whole nother deal. Like where people have worshipped the sun throughout humanity.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, they do. They did.
Yeah.
They might still.
I
don't know. But I don't know, man. Like I said, I learned to meditate. So it's like this feeling in this place that I got to one time. And I was like, I want to strive to get there without the psychedelics. Because you can find inner peace. You can find heaven for yourself. You can find whatever you want. You can go literally wherever you want to. I've seen it all, done it all, sitting in the same spot. You feel me? I've been to the end of the universe and back type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying, but I haven't done nothing.
And I can't explain it to you. But I've seen it all unfold in real time. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And just on psychedelics though, right?
On psychedelics, but like I said, when I got there, I was like, I wanted to get back there, but like naturally. So like I said, my whole point of meditation was to achieve this like Zen-like state.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This state of just clear consciousness, this place where I forgot my body, where I was just whatever was inside. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was just an expansiveness, like not a physical thing at all, but just like free from that. And I would achieve to get there. And it's like, once I got to that state, you know, I would do my manifestations or prayers or my mantras or whatever I was doing at the time. And, you know, I would just speak what I wanted, and I would express my gratitude like out loud, just for the universe or for the God or whoever. Just like, thank you. You know, Kendrick say on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, you know, today I prayed to the flowers and trees. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was on that type shit. Like, you know, I was to the point where I can still look at a tree and see God, bro. It's like, because what you actually learn when you're sitting still is that nothing is actually sitting still. Everything is always in motion. Even everything is always in motion. The little blades of the grass are always moving. There's all the little tiny bugs. Like if you concentrate hard enough, you can see the waves from the sun beating down. Like the trees never, ever, ever stop swaying. Even when there's no leaves on them, they're always in motion. So it's like when you sit still, you realize,
have to slow down to do that though.
Yeah, everything's really always in motion. Everything's really alive. And that's what I talked about at the beginning, that oneness, that everything kind of breathes.
Yeah, because a tree's growing, grass is growing. Even they're getting, you know, they're aging and all that shit.
Everything kind of just breathes if you really sit there and you go, huh. So it's like, you know, I feel part of this oneness, you know, like... But that used to be my goal of meditation because it's like so grounded. And then just sitting out in the sun, bro. I never got sunburned. I had this great tan. Like, it was great.
I like to go. I like the yard, definitely. I like to go outside. I like to walk barefoot. Me and my daughter, it's funny, my son don't like to be barefoot. And we have gravel and stuff. And so he's always crying and stuff. But my daughter is 18 months old, 19 months old now. And she can run on gravel. Like, because she's just always been barefoot. Her feet are kind of turned in. She don't like shoes. And so she's just got used to just, you know, she's got like a natural approach to being in the yard. Like just run around. She
thugging.
Bro, it's hot the other day. Me and her went walking down the gravel road like yesterday. With no shoes on, both of us. And it's just like, I don't know. She's just like, she hard like that. But I don't know. It don't bother her. Like my son was like, And I look at my daughter and I'm like,
bro, everybody literally is built different for real.
Yeah. She's built like, she's built like she could survive in the yard, bro. It's really funny.
It's dope though.
Yeah. And she's, I don't know, man, you get to talk about kids, god dang. That's like where my like, you know, that's what like crumbles me, like, is the kids deal. And then mine are so little and they're so sweet, and then like they're not sweet sometimes. I'm like, damn, what the hell's wrong with them? But no, back to the yard deal. I like walking barefoot. I feel like that helps to, you know, to be in the yard, to touch the ground, to be reminded that, you know, we don't need to sit in the damn house all the day. That's not the play. You know, we got to get out there. I've always liked going to the woods. I take them to a spot in the woods. We go look at this pond. They got beavers and stuff back there. We look at these beavers and shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think we're I've been saying this with all the AI and all the technology. I think it's going to get really cool here soon to do the opposite. I think there's going to be this big movement of people that say, you know what, I don't want to be connected to this screen all the time. Because the next big push, when AI comes down the pipeline, it's going to be like full immersion. You know what I'm saying?
That's what they're trying to do with like the headsets right now, the little Apple, whatever the fuck it's called, Apple Vision.
Yeah, and then like AI just being able to do so much shit, you know? They want us to just look at these phones and look at all this shit all the time. I think there will be a movement, like a natural movement of people that be like, you know what, we need to be in the yard. Because I guarantee you, if we get sucked into these worlds, I'm not sure we'll be happy. You know, I think we'll realize that we need to be doing something else.
That's what I'm saying. It'll be another matrix to break out of. Then we'll be stuck in another layer. Yeah. If this is a layer, they want to get us stuck in another layer.
Yeah. And back to the simulation deal. Like you were saying, that made me think of another thought that somebody was talking about. If we're in a simulation, is the goal of the simulation to get out of the simulation? Or is it to master the simulation?
So like the Tibetans believe, once you reach a certain level, you can either choose to ascend and be godlike, or you can go back in for another run.
Yeah.
Because like like I said, the Tibetan belief is that the reason they don't choose to ascend, that's to start to become a Buddha, essentially. That's to start to become a Buddha. But they don't necessarily want to ascend. They want to continue to go back through the cycle to help more people get out and be able to have the option to get out. Like that's their goal in it, essentially, is to continue this tradition of teaching people the art of dying, you know?
No. I think if I had the choice, I'd like to do it again. I think I'd like to just keep living. And maybe we have. Who's to say we haven't? Who's to say we're not the same people over and over and over and over and over again? Like, how can they prove that that's not what's happening? When an old man dies and a new baby's born at the same time, how do you not know that that's, you know
exactly.
what I'm saying? These are like considered wild thoughts. Like when somebody listens to this podcast, there's going to be people that have a certain thing, have thought about me, that may think about me differently after saying all this.
Listen, y'all, we're not telling you what to believe. We're just asking you to consider what could be potentially possible.
Yeah, because I don't think I believe a lot of what I've said today. But I'm not this like, you know what I'm, not that I don't believe it.
No, it's interesting to talk about.
Yeah, but I'm starting to consider new things and work them out in my head. And for better or worse. So here we go. Now we're in the back half, not even half. We're in the back third, back quarter, whatever. We're landing the plane. Let's think about this and summarizing it all up and bringing this whole episode to a closing. Oh man, it's hard to do this. It's hard to frame the question I'm trying to ask. Do you think it's possible?
Okay.
That, like, okay, you just said it's so interesting and fun to talk about these things, but do you think that it can be bad to fall into the conspiracy trap theory, conspiracy theory trap where we get too open to conspiracies?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. I have a Jewel.
Yeah.
I was talking to Jewel not that long ago, and he was shout out to DJ Ray Genius. Come on, man, my boy, man. Sure. But and he's having we're discussing essentially what are conspiracies and like essentially just what you see is like massive lies over the, you know, so much stuff. And he's like starting to freak out on my Jewel. Listen, I was like, lay off this shit for a few days. I was like, you cannot let it consume you. I was like, just because you're finding out some shocking shit, you still gotta be you. You still gotta do the things you gotta do. Like, he was talking about like all this Epstein and trafficking shit and all like how deep that rabbit hole goes and who it's connected to. And
a lot of that's not a conspiracy. That's like bad shit happening.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, but it's hidden. But it's becoming unhidden. But it's like the more that these things come unhidden, it's kind of like to go from a place of feeling like, oh yeah, we're American and this is great and this is America. And 2 thumbs up, and we're the good guys. And then you start seeing the other side of the coin, or not even the other side of the coin, just other people's perspectives, the world's perspective, a non-US view of these situations, or, you know, like, you know, whatever it may be. Like I said, you're just being exposed to different and new information of which you've told has been something else this whole time. And I'm just like, you have to still you can't get lost in the sauce.
Yeah,
you can't
sure.
go full overboard. You can't go too deep with it. Like, and it's just kind of like a learning curve.
There's people out there that have lost their marbles going down rabbit holes and not been able to like recover as a person.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm scared of. I like to dabble, and I like to think. I feel like you can have like an intellectual conversation about shit that people deem to be far out.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk about these things, and it's just like socially, it's almost like not acceptable, you know.
But it's becoming so much more accessible. I mean, not accessible, acceptable.
It is now, for sure.
It's becoming like everybody's almost a conspiracy theorist now. And it's like, is everybody been duped, or is everybody actually seeing through a lot of the bullshit? Is everybody just starting to use their critical thinking and go, that doesn't make no sense?
No.
But you know what? You need people like that. You need people to go, hey, that don't make no sense. I need you to explain it to me more.
Yeah.
I need to see some actual factuals. That just don't add up to me.
Yeah. You
got to have people like that. That's what science is. That's what science is supposed to be. You're supposed to go, hey, look what I found out. And I'm supposed to go, I'm not supposed to try to prove you. I'm supposed to try to disprove you.
Yeah.
That's the goal of science. Like, that's not true because it's because it's supposed to be the search of
life. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know, you're looking for the essential
of the universe.
Essentially in all forms.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, I don't feel like you have that a lot. Maybe you do. Maybe I don't understand science, but I just feel like it's too much all the time. Like you hear too many contrasting things constantly about any area of science. It could be about space and spaceships, or it could be about germs, or it could be about like food, or it could be about like, oh, coffee's bad for you. Oh, coffee's good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, caffeine bad, caffeine good. You see stuff like that.
Oh, calories red wine's bad. Great for you.
Red wine's good. Red wine's bad. Why would you drink? You know.
And so it's just like, and you can find that with anything. So it's just kind of like, what do you actually believe? And it's like, I think what a lot of people have really lost in that sense is like being in touch with you. Like, how do you actually feel? If you sit down, does your stomach feel okay? I mean, does it feel queasy? Do you have pain here and do you have pain there? Like, do you feel weird after you eat certain things? Maybe you shouldn't eat those things.
Yeah, that would be more important than reading 6 conflicting arguments about food, huh?
Yeah, like how do you feel?
Like trial and error with food.
you got to have like mindfulness of yourself too, because essentially your body really knows how to take care of itself. That's what it's designed to do. So it's like you just kind of gotta listen, know how to listen, know how to take those cues, you know.
So back to the conspiracies as a whole. Like we were saying, you can get lost in it. You can go down the rabbit hole too far. Then you have conflicting conspiracies. You have like the moon landing fake, and you have 1,000 people over here that say this, and then you have like even they don't even agree on why it's fake, or they don't even agree why it's real. And then it's like, you're saying, so basically your main point is saying that you have to, and mainly what you're saying to him too, is that you still have to take control of your day-to-day life. Regardless if the moon landing was fake, regardless if Iraq had a space station or whatever the hell you call it. Stargate, right. It don't matter.
Regardless of whether there's reptilians running the world or the Anunnaki made us.
Yeah, you still have to do your day-to-day shit. And you have to, but you do have to make decisions about what you think, where you come from, and what that means to you.
Yeah, you do.
Because like, if you decide, the Bible is real and you believe that, then there's things that come with that. Okay, now you need to line your life up with that. Mm-hmm. You need to live this certain way if you want the result talked about in that way of believing. And you just have to go that route with all the things. You know what I'm saying? You have to. But it comes down to you, and we should have a choice, and we should be able to talk about things and discuss things that people think are weird or far out. I think you should be able to do that.
Yeah, you shouldn't be ostracized for having it's almost like calling somebody a heretic back in the day.
Yeah.
Or what's when you say something that's not religious, what's it called?
Sacrilegious?
Yeah, not that, but like, damn, like
blasphemous.
There we go. Thank you. It was escaping me.
Yeah, yeah, so you know, and that's the thing. Like, somebody decided that, and I get that. You decided this is your way of life. Okay, cool. That's cool. But like, when you start calling other people blasphemous for like thinking of other options, it's like, I don't know. Does it really make enough sense for you to be like, this is 100%? But that's the thing. People have their own personal experiences. So if somebody goes to church and has like their own, I'm not just saying church. You know what I'm saying? But that's just the easy example. Someone goes to church to have an experience. You can't convince that person anything else because they had that experience. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've had experiences with like psychedelics. It'd be really hard for me to change your thoughts on psychedelics you experienced. Because
you can't tell me what I felt and what I've experienced, what I've seen, what happened in those moments.
Exactly. But here's what I'm saying. If you take that to an extreme, I experienced this, so I know it's real. And so what you're saying can't be right. That's where it gets treacherous, I think.
It is, because you can't be like that. That's why I say willing to consider anything. I'm not going to sit up here and ever tell anybody they're wrong for what they believe, because you're entitled to that.
Yeah.
There's no one certain way. You're entitled to whatever you believe. I want to hear everybody's story.
Right.
So what you think over there? So what you think?
Yeah.
So what y'all think? So what y'all's opinion on that? Like, I just want to hear everybody's takes, because, like I said, somewhere in that mix of everybody's experience is the truth.
It's probably the truth, yeah.
Somewhere in the mix of everybody's experience is the actual truth. So I just want to hear all the information. I want to hear all the takes. I want to hear all the wild stories. I want my what the fuck meter to go off all the time, because maybe there's a key to something in there that ties back into something else that I've heard that makes me go and read something that, I don't know, because whatever the truth is too, it's also all connected.
Yeah.
Whatever the truth is about whatever, it's all connected. And so I just want to hear what everybody has to say. I want to know what everybody thinks. Like, I think it's very interesting, people's like different like takes on death and the afterlife, and because they're all so different, but they're also so similar in so many ways.
Yeah, it's like, even you look at the government. You know what I'm saying? There's people that say, I'm a Republican. They don't want to hear none of the damn Democratic doctrine. Swip it around. Democrats. I'm a Democrat. I don't want to hear that Republican ass shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a way to, we get in factions, we get in fucking these groups, and we stop wanting to hear like what people have to say. We just start labeling shit as, oh, that's conspiracy. Oh, he just talks about wild shit. He's a Republican. I'm not really for that Republican shit. I don't want to hear that shit. No. And then we start, I think what you're saying is we stop listening to people's stories. We stop listening to people's
human experience.
We stop listening to the experience, and we only just by labeling shit. And then we find these people who say shit that we like. And then we're like, okay, well, this is who I listen to. If you're a Republican, you listen to Republican radio and you listen to Republican podcasts, you're getting one take of life. If you're a Democrat and you only listen to your Democrat people and they give you one take of life, you're gonna believe that one take in life. That's just what it is. Because if you don't open yourself up to the options, you're not going to. You're really what you're doing is, like you're saying, you're gonna miss a huge chunk of human experience as the whole.
Yeah, I love how you summarized that. Thank you. You made it so much more eloquent. Like, what? Mm-hmm. Really tied it all together there.
Well, there you go. Maybe we should quit while we're ahead. No, we did a good 2-piece for sure, bro.
Bet.
2-piece and a biscuit.
Bet.
2 peanut butter cookies. Listen, I'd like to take this time to shout out Cake House and their delicious peanut butter cookies. I know they do a whole bunch of other cool shit, but I'm just a peanut butter cookie man. That's just...
We do them right, too.
Oh, dude, they're so good. My wife, that's my wife with me the other day. Yeah. I was like, dude, I didn't even, but I was...
I figured.
But I wasn't out just for like...
I figured as much.
Yeah, this is not me out with some mistress. That
bluesy.
But yeah. Anyways, she took a bite of the cookie in the car. She's like, And I was like, yeah, that's my boy. You know what I'm saying? That made me proud that I can... You know what I'm saying? You know when you get proud when you see somebody that you fuck with, their shit is good, and it's just like, there you go. It's good. It's a good moment. So shout out to Cake House. Cookies, brownies, the teas, the lemonade. Y'all make tea, don't y'all?
Yeah.
Tea, lemonade.
We got slushies.
What
Cakes, fried Oreos.
Yeah.
All type of good stuff.
Man. And I be, since I'm trying to keep my sugar down, I put it like something to work towards. Like if I go do something like extra, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I just earned me a peanut butter cookie.
Hell yeah.
House. Come on.
Hell yeah.
Man, if you tuned in with us this long, if you sat through this whole 2-hour deal, we definitely appreciate you. Like I said, it may have got a little far out at times, but I feel like it needs to be talked about. Different ideas need to be shared. I don't think we should skip out on what people think. You know what I'm saying? We just don't need to get so locked into shit that we can't at least hear. You should be able to hear someone with a different opinion, but let me shut up because I'll get to talking again. So,
yeah, but no, definitely, you like that's it, man. That's it. It's so important though.
Yeah.
Like people don't understand. Like people want to hear themselves talk, but like, just listen to other people, man.
Yeah.
Listen to other people, and not about bullshit, like real life shit. Just let them. You know, some of the best conversations you'll probably ever have is with some random person that you fucked around and sat next to at a bar, had a couple drinks, and then y'all went y'all separate ways and never talked ever again.
Yeah.
But she was like, wow.
No.
That guy had a lot going on. Like he told me so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. And wow, I never knew that. You know, like,
yeah.
So, yeah, man.
That. And these podcasts too, man. Shout out to this. I've just been enjoying this channel, bro. This channel's cool. And just talking to so many people. This will be like episode 35 by the time it drops. And I've had a couple repeat people. So I'm going to say I've talked to about 30 different people in about 6 months in this environment. And I say I've heard it all until I talked to you for 2 hours. And then I've heard new things.
There's more where that came from.
Yeah.
I'm like an endless supply, bro.
Yeah. I'm gonna have you back. Yeah, we'll do it.
Let's give it with summer, let's do the fall.
Okay, yeah. I'll see you in the fall. How about that? Hey, we appreciate y'all tapping in. Y'all have a blessed day. And man, whatever you believe, just don't get so damn tied down, man.
That's it.
Y'all have a blessed day, man.